Some engines earn respect. Others earn forgiveness. The Ford 5.0 Coyote had to earn both. For more than a decade, Ford's 5.0-liter Coyote V8 has defined modern American performance. From the roar of a Mustang GT pulling onto a highway on-ramp to the quiet confidence of an F-150 hauling a family's livelihood, the Coyote became more than an engine, it became a symbol. While rivals downsized, added turbos, or abandoned cylinders altogether, Ford stood its ground. Naturally aspirated. High-revving. Unapologetically V8. But legends are rarely perfect. And behind the praise, behind the dyno charts and drag strip times, there was a flaw Ford couldn't ignore. One issue followed the Coyote through its growth, quietly eroding trust among owners who loved the engine but feared its future. Now, after years of listening, testing, and refining, Ford has finally fixed it. And the change doesn't just repair a weakness, it reshapes what the Coyote represents. The rise of the Coyote. When the Coyote debuted in 2011, it was a gamble. GM had perfected the pushrod V8. Simple, compact, proven. Ford went the opposite direction. Dual overhead cams, 4 valves per cylinder, variable cam timing, and an engine that loved to spin. A red line north of 7,000 revolutions per minute was unheard of for a mainstream American V8. And it worked. The engine felt alive. It begged to be revved. It rewarded drivers who pushed it just a little further. Gen 1 impressed. Gen 2 refined. Gen 3 went all in, higher compression, direct injection, and power numbers that once belonged to supercars. But progress came at a cost. The flaw no one wanted to talk about. Oil consumption became the Coyote's quiet shadow. Not every engine. Not every owner. But enough to matter. Enough to show patterns. Enough to raise questions. Forums filled with stories. Oil level checks became routine. Some engines ran flawlessly for hundreds of thousands of miles. Others burned oil far too early. The randomness was frustrating and damaging. Engine builders eventually uncovered the truth. The Coyote was built light and tight. Plasma-transferred wire arc, PTWA, cylinder liners reduced weight and friction. Short piston skirts improved efficiency. High RPM capability pushed boundaries. On paper, it was brilliant. In reality, it was unforgiving. Piston rock at high RPM increased side loading. Slight misalignment became wear. Wear became scoring. Scoring became oil consumption. The engine wasn't weak, it was sensitive. As one builder famously said, the Coyote was engineered like a race motor, but expected to live like a commuter. Ford listens and responds. 4 years, Ford refined quietly. Small updates. Revised calibrations. Minor hardware changes. But the real breakthrough came when Ford acknowledged what enthusiasts already knew. Reliability matters as much as performance. Later generation Coyotes introduced revised piston designs, longer skirts, improved ring packs, and tighter manufacturing tolerances. Cylinder finish processes were improved. Clearances were optimized for real-world driving, not just dyno pulls. The result wasn't flashy. No headline horsepower jump. No marketing slogan. Just engines that lasted. Oil consumption complaints dropped sharply. Teardowns told a different story. Cleaner cylinder walls, better sealing, healthier internals even after hard use. Builders noticed. Fleet data confirmed it. Quietly, the Coyote earned back trust. Why it matters. This fix isn't just about oil. It's about maturity. The Coyote grew up. It learned that power without durability is incomplete. That sound, speed, and emotion mean nothing if owners are afraid to enjoy them. Ford didn't abandon the Coyote. It didn't replace it. It evolved it, without losing its soul. Today's 5.0 still revs. Still roars. Still reminds people why they fell in love with V8’s in the first place. But now, it does so with confidence. And that's what makes this story inspiring. Because the Coyote didn't become legendary by being perfect. It became legendary by being honest, by being challenged, and by being improved. In a world that often gives up on flawed things, Ford chose to fix what mattered. Some engines earn respect. Others earn forgiveness. The Coyote earned both, and in doing so, proved that even legends can learn. When Ford first unleashed the 5.0-liter Coyote V8, it wasn't just another engine. It was a statement, a defiant roar in an era drifting toward silence. High-revving, naturally aspirated, unapologetically American, it reminded people why they fell in love with performance cars in the first place. The sound alone could raise goosebumps. The power delivery felt alive. On paper and on the road, the Coyote was special. But legends aren't born perfect. For many owners, the love affair came with a quiet concern. Oil consumption wasn't just a nuisance, it was a warning sign. Some drivers found themselves topping off oil far sooner than expected. Others noticed smoke under hard acceleration, or hesitated to push the engine the way it begged to be driven. For F-150 owners who relied on the 5.0 for towing, work, and long-term dependability, the issue felt heavier. This wasn't a weekend toy, it was supposed to last. And that's what made it hurt. People didn't complain because they hated the Coyote. They complained because they cared. Ford knew this wasn't something a software update or a marketing spin could fix. You don't protect a legacy with excuses. You protect it with engineering. So instead of abandoning the Coyote, Ford did something rare in the modern automotive world. They went back to the drawing board. Quietly. Methodically. Seriously. The overhaul didn't start with flashy headlines. It started deep inside the engine, where most people would never look. Redesigned pistons were the first major change. Earlier designs allowed subtle instability inside the cylinder bore, tiny movements that, over time, added up. The new pistons were built for control, staying planted even at high RPM. Alongside them came updated ring packs, engineered to dramatically improve oil control without adding friction or choking performance. This wasn't about detuning the engine into submission. It was about making it smarter. Next came improvements to Ford's plasma-transferred wire arc, PTWA, cylinder bore process. This technology was already advanced, but refinement made the difference. Tighter tolerances. More consistent surfaces. Less uneven wear. Teardowns of newer high-mileage engines began telling a different story. Cleaner cylinder walls, stronger compression, and far less scoring. The kind of evidence you can't fake. Then came calibration. Early Coyotes chased the red line aggressively, loading pistons hard in ways that weren't always necessary. Newer tuning strategies smooth the power curve, reduce mechanical stress, and manage heat more intelligently, all while preserving what made the engine thrilling in the first place. It still revs. It still screams. It just does so with more maturity. And that's where the story truly changes. Because the real verdict doesn't come from brochures or dyno sheets. It comes from real owners, real miles, and real shops. Performance builders began noticing something unusual. The newer Coyotes weren't coming back for oil-related issues. Modified engines were holding compression. Daily driven trucks were aging gracefully. As one shop owner put it simply, the new Coyotes don't come back for oil problems. That tells you everything. Confidence, once shaken, was returning. For Mustang GT owners, this matters deeply. Today's 5.0 delivers over 480 horsepower, spins to the sky, and still offers one of the richest aftermarket ecosystems on the planet. Now, it also offers peace of mind. You can drive it hard, modify it, and trust it, just like enthusiasts expect a V8 to be trusted. For F-150 buyers, the improved Coyote becomes something even more important: balance. Strong towing performance. Stable oil behavior under load. Long-term reliability that matches the demands of real work. In a world full of compromises, it finally feels like a no-compromise choice. And there's something bigger happening here. At a time when V8 engines are under constant pressure, from regulations, electrification, and shifting priorities, Ford's decision to refine rather than retire the Coyote sends a powerful message. This engine still matters. Not just as a product, but as a symbol. Of mechanical honesty. Of sound and soul. Of an era that refuses to disappear quietly. Ford didn't mask the Coyote's flaws. They faced them. They engineered them out. By fixing piston stability, oil control, and cylinder durability, Ford transformed the 5.0 from a thrilling but imperfect engine into one of the most dependable high-performance V8's still on sale today. That's how legacies survive. Not by pretending they're flawless, but by evolving, listening, and getting better. In an age where naturally aspirated V8's are fading fast, the refined Coyote proves something important. Smart engineering can keep legends alive. And this time, Ford truly got it right. This was just the beginning. Hit that subscribe button and buckle up. Digital Garage has so much more in store.